Both the federal government and the state of California have enacted new laws that change the criminal justice system. California's changes are on track with reforms that began 7 years ago.
Meantime, the federal changes are the first reforms since the year 2000. Joining us now with more details, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Ambrosio Rodriguez. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So we'll go ahead and get into it and take a look at the bipartisan criminal justice reform bill. It's called the First Step Act. What does that do?
So this is a really big deal. It's something that both the left and the right have been working on for about 8 years. And what it does is it lowers what is called mandatory minimums. Federal sentencing is very, very harsh compared to state sentencing. A transportation of 10 pounds or 10 kilos of cocaine would get you about 10 years in federal court as opposed to maybe 3 years in state court. So what it's done, it has lowered the amount of time that a person can get. It also adds vocational and educational training, and it gives more credit. The idea is to lower the prison population, the federal system, when you have been convicted or pled to a non-violent drug offense.
In California, we have some of the strictest firearms regulations in the country, and they've
even got tighter now. Now you have to be 21 years old to buy any type of long rifle, like a shotgun or any other type of rifle. Used to be 18. There's now, the law has been that if you're convicted of a felony domestic violence, you are banned from ever having a gun. When it was misdemeanor domestic violence, it was 10 years. Now it's lifetime ban. So there's that. There's also an change in marijuana. That is, now that we have legalized marijuana, any kind of prior conviction, you can get that erased from your record. There's some exceptions to that, but that's usually the case.
Okay. There's another new law, state law, that wants to increase transparency in cases that involves police brutality.
Sure. So for police brutality cases, California has very strict protections of police officers, and has so for about 40 years. Now there's a new process that makes it a lot easier to find out what's going on with officer-involved misconduct, officer-involved shootings, in order to be able to allow both the person who has been allegedly victimized and the press to get the information, to get the records.
And the public.
And the public, right.
Let's go through a small handful of new laws that involve marijuana distribution, criminal prosecution of minors, and DUI convictions.
Okay, so now with DUI convictions, now if you're convicted of a DUI the first time, if there's an injury or some kind of accident, you have to have an interlock device. That means it's a device that you have to breathe into to show that there's no alcohol in your system before your car will start. If you've had more than one DUI, that's now mandatory for 6 months, and then it kind of goes on. The more DUIs you get, the longer you have to have it. Now, for juvenile justice reform, the law now is that if you're under 12, you can't be charged for a crime, even in juvenile court, unless it's murder or rape. If you are 14 or 15, you can no longer be charged as an adult, regardless of the crime. But you can be charged in juvenile court. And I believe the last one was marijuana. I think I already talked a little bit about that, how you can get it erased from your record.
All right. Again, Ambrosio Rodriguez, a criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. You can check out his website. You can also follow him on Twitter. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year again, guys. Thank you.